What's up, Creamers? It's me, Hot Joe, and I'm joined with my co-host, Sammy Daddy.
Open up. I'm coming in. Take it easy.
And special guest, Gregory Irons.
It's iron, singular, not plural.
Sorry about that. We'll fix it in post. And we're here to talk to Turkey, like Ted Turner, about some professional wrestling.
You said network presidents were essentially guilty of treason and should be lined up and shot.
Well, what I wanted to do was scare him a little bit.
We're going to hold Gregory Iron accountable in kayfabe court. John Cena 5-nuck shuffs us with his quote of the week. What's our match count for 2025, the year of our lives? And as always, we leave a little room for cream. All that on this episode
Of WrestleCream. What's his name? Fat Joe? Loved your work back in the 90s.
well, that's a different guy, but
You've
I
lost
do.
a lot of them.
I do appreciate that. Welcome back, Creamers. Sammy Daddy and Gregory Iron. Did you guys watch any wrestling this week?
I watched a little bit.
What'd you watch, mate?
Saturday night main event.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
I started watching some main event as well.
No, that's because of last
week's
Makes sense.
Brewed But Not Poured with Adam Rose's Bunny. It made me go back and watch it. And they did have some main events. CM Punk fought Sheamus when they were both champions. Randy Orton, Big Show.
Hell yeah, man.
It's not the show we know today. It was all right. And Double or Nothing.
Yeah, you watched that, huh?
I did.
What'd you think?
I watched most of it on 2x speed though.
Wow, that's the way to do it.
I had to.
You had to slow down, probably for the let the bodies hit the floor part.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.
I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
And I watched one match of Raw, and then I fell asleep.
Oh yeah,
Chad Gable almost broke his neck.
I saw that.
That was crazy.
That was rough.
Yeah. Has anybody ever done that to you, Greg Iron?
Dropped me on my head and neck?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I almost died from concussion with brain bleeding. From multiple drops on my head and neck. Actually, it's somewhere on YouTube. A guy tried to give me flip me out of a suplex onto my feet, and then just decided not to actually give me the push on my legs, and then I just fell backwards onto my head. And it's on YouTube somewhere. This was in Canada, and it was one of those things where when you might be hurt for real.
Yeah.
You get up real quick and don't sell it at all and just act like nothing happened.
Okay.
It definitely looked horrible, and I don't have pain in my neck to this day, but I had pain in my neck for a long time, and now when I go to try to crack my neck, I hear a constant cracking inside my neck. So I'm broken down. It's not good.
You look good though.
Thank you.
You're holding up all right.
Trying.
You're a beautiful boy. You'll hear later.
It's a beautiful boy.
Gotcha.
It was JR saying it.
General.
Okay, well, I try. I got the grade coming in. I cut my hair specifically for you fucks. So, I hope you appreciate that.
Thanks.
I had a mullet going on. I've been I wouldn't say I've been depressed during my injury period here. For those that don't know, I have a torn pec tendon. It was completely torn. It will be healed sometime in July. I don't know if I'll ever wrestle again. So, very sad. Do you have Sarah McLachlan that you can queue up? Or is that going to be a YouTube issue?
Yeah, we're gonna have to put it in post.
We can do that though.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll put
But
that in
we
the
do have the GoFundMe.
in our description.
This is the guy
every
we've
week.
been talking about.
Yeah.
Help him out. Anything helps.
Can't you tell?
Look at him. But yeah, link in the description. Help him out. Anything.
Hell yeah, man. I watched Double or Nothing.
Yeah.
I watched 1, 2, 3 of the nights of the Best of the Super Juniors.
Okay.
I didn't watch it on Sunday though, because I was watching a lot of wrestling this weekend. And then that's it. Excuse me. Yeah, that's it. I thought it was all good. I thought all the wrestling I watched was good.
What about you, Greg? What'd you watch?
I watched the usual. I watched Raw. I watched Saturday night's main event. No AEW. I don't have a I don't have a working password or email for that, unfortunately. I'm not going to spend money on it if I don't have to. I'm so sorry. I have many friends that work there, but I just, you're getting paid well from a billionaire, so I'm sure you're fine without my buy.
What if it was more of just like they want you to support them as a friend, not necessarily financially?
I will support them with a good pat on the back, and hey kiddo, you did it.
Nice.
And I did go back. I talked a little bit about it on a bonus episode for my Patreon. I went back and watched, with the passing of Sabu, ECW Barely Legal '97, and that show sucks.
Oh, I did see you talk about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy how bad it is, and like. I try to like put it over so many times talking on the podcast with Aaron, R.I.P. And like he always said like it's terrible, and like I remember thinking like it was fun except for like Sabu and Taz. I felt like it didn't live up to the hype. But Taboo, what? Taz and Sabu was so much more worse than I remember, and like just the whole show was weird. And like the ECW arena didn't really seem into the show.
Okay.
The flow was strange, and like a lot of stuff that happened looked very indie, very amateur hour. It was very odd because like we all remember ECW as this trailblazing revolutionary thing, and it just didn't feel that way watching Barely Legal.
Dang.
Yeah, it made me sad.
Well, did you watch any other Sabu matches?
I couldn't bring myself to watch the actual match, but because I saw clips and I don't want to watch the whole thing. Like Sabu's last
That
match.
retirement
Yeah.
match, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that just because like, look, Sabu's his own guy. I don't blame GCW, but he's a 61-year-old man who shouldn't have been wrestling, and whoever set up that barbed wire didn't do a good job because it definitely shouldn't have snapped and he shouldn't have fell to the floor, and obviously they cut away from it. But he was bleeding pretty badly.
Yeah.
And I don't want to watch that. I watched the little hype video that they played before that, and I watched the entrance to the ring. And it just confirmed how I felt, because I remember when I worked with him 3 years ago in Detroit and then at Hammerstein. He needed a chair to get in the ring, which he needed for this last match. Mm-hmm. And even when me and Bobby Beverly were working with him in Detroit, we had to try to do stuff to him, like grab him and stuff, but like we could barely touch him.
Oh, really?
Just to touch him, it would have been painful for him. So
Right. Yeah.
So this was 3 years ago, and now he's in a match. So it's just like, and it sucks because, I wouldn't say that I was friends with Sabu, but we had him on the show, and I conversed with him over the years, and he was a nice guy, and I don't know, just makes me sad. So I watched him in 1-2-3 Kid from like the Indies back in like '93, which was a pretty revolutionary match. I forget the promotion, but I watched that because it reminded me that like, man, Sabu and Kid were doing some revolutionary stuff for 1993, and I think like Sabu had better psychology than he was given credit for, and it's just a shame that he's gone. So I watched a little bit of that stuff. Is that applause?
I like it.
Yeah.
It is applause.
Are you mocking me?
No.
Do you know that I can't applaud? Mostly because mainly I usually have one hand, and now I really have no arms, and so I can't. I gotta do the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. So applaud like that.
Oh, is that what? Okay, I thought you were talking about.
I didn't know what was going on for a second.
To a pleasure. For
beautiful boy.
I guess so.
Anyway, so Creamers, did you watch any wrestling this week? Why don't you comment below? Let us know. Do you think Gregory Iron? Do you think that noise was him pleasuring himself, or do you think that was some kind of other Fresh Prince thing that nobody knows what he's talking about?
I couldn't pleasure myself for 6 weeks because of this pec tendon. Okay.
That's why we came over.
All right.
Anywho, now we're going to move on to the kayfabe court. I'm sure you guys know Gregory Iron here is sort of like a professional wrestling criminal. A lot of people are always saying online things like, he's like a criminal piece of shit, which I always say, whoa. I don't think so.
Who's saying this?
A lot of people say
Oh
it.
yeah, you should look at your comments.
Yeah, you should probably check the comments.
Okay.
So we're going to hold Gregory Iron accountable, which was what, the Creamers at home said they wanted us to do.
Yeah.
Did you look it up?
Yeah. See.
There are a lot of negative comments. I have not.
Yeah.
I feel like I should be responding to these.
That's we advise you not to do that.
Oh well, that one's from us. But besides that one,
Actually, a lot of them are, I find.
from us.
Yeah.
They're negative.
A lot of them are from us. But that's okay.
Yeah, it happens.
So, Greg,
Yeah.
your first crime.
Wait. So we're like judges.
Oh,
Judge,
yeah,
jury, and
we probably didn't
executioner?
explain the dang thing. We're Judge, Judy, and Executioner.
This man just had a wig on. Just carry that around with you all the time.
Like the judge.
Okay.
And we are going to list the crimes. And Gregory Iron is going to have to explain to us and to a court of his peers why he did the things he did. Your first crime, unlawful use of foreign object. Your charge, you were caught with brass knuckles hidden in your boot. Explain how that was simply a misunderstanding.
When was this?
I'm asking the questions here.
Which hand did I use them on?
Ooh, that's good.
Explain to the Creamers at home. Why was that justified?
What you're talking about recently, it just didn't happen. I usually have one functioning hand. Currently, I have no functioning arms or hands. Like, I would not be throwing a punch at anybody with any type of weapon of any sort because I would further hinder. Terrible band from
Lips
the
of an Angel.
2000. Yeah, well, yeah. Judge, why you calling me so late?
No.
Okay.
Judge, will you allow that? Will you allow it?
Yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay.
I wouldn't have done that. That just doesn't make any sense. Why would I further injure myself?
No, that's
The jury finds you not guilty.
okay. Well, that was easier than I thought.
oh, you're not done yet.
Charge number 2, multiple counts of interference in other people's matches. You, the judge, you just happened to be at ringside again? Sounds suspicious. Why don't you explain to us how you could justify that?
Well, I had a manager's license, which isn't very important if you want to be at
Valid?
ringside.
Was it valid?
It was valid.
Okay.
I renew it every
Well,
year.
shit.
But there have been periods of time where, I'll admit there was a little bit of a lapse. But I go into every situation, in every promotion that I'm in, and I make sure to explain to them that I need not special treatment, but I am someone with a developmental disability. Hinders me both mentally and physically. And so, I just need a little bit of leeway. And sometimes, to alleviate the tension that I feel on the right side of my body from cerebral palsy,
All right.
my neurological disability, sometimes it helps if I take a nice brisk stroll out to ringside and kind of use the ring canvas and the ropes on the outside to kind of stretch and warm up as coincidentally my friends and comrades are wrestling in the ring. So I don't see the issue. I mean, unless you guys see an issue with a guy with a disability. I mean,
The jury finds you not guilty.
I'm not touching that one.
good.
All right.
Because I felt like Fat Joe over here was going to use the R word, and that's super fucked up.
That is kinda messed up. Guilty.
Guilty as charged.
You're guilty.
All right. Your next crime, excessive showboating. Charge, you cost yourself a match by taunting too much. Is that ego or strategy?
I would say that it's strategy. Listen.
Oh.
Have you ever played a little game called No Mercy?
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
N64?
for sure. Many a time.
When I knew that I could not defeat someone in No Mercy, you know what I did?
You taunted?
You throw them outside and taunt.
I'd wiggle the goddamn joystick. I would run away. I would give him a light strike, and then I would go in the corner. And for some reason, I know the reason. It was funny. I would give my creative wrestler the Mr. Ass, pull your pants down, and moon the guy.
Or would censor it.
Yeah, and so it's so I build up my power by cheating. But even more so, I don't know if you guys know this, but for some reason, in Revenge, WCW Revenge,
Yes.
there was like a I don't know, it was a glitch or something, but in the game, if you wiggled the joystick when you got pinned, you could just kick out
Really?
no matter what.
Really?
Because when I used to play with my buddy Andrew in 6th grade, you know, I don't know how I figured that out, but he would get pissed because he was much better than me at it.
But no matter what,
Yeah,
I got you.
and I would always he would pin me, and I would just sit there with the controller, and then he's like, "Don't wiggle the joystick," and I'm not, and I would fucking wiggle the joystick, and I'm just too powerful.
That's good.
You know. So so just the wiggling the joystick is a strategy, both in the video games and in the bedroom. Again, after 6 weeks of nothing, I did a lot of joystick wiggling.
Yeah. Kicking out at 2. I mean,
Everyone's coming.
Well, okay.
everyone's coming.
I heard.
Hold on.
Everyone's
Greg is coming. Oh, it didn't work.
Yeah, we try.
All right. What's the next crimes that Gregory Iron has committed?
Those were the softballs. I did a little research.
Good cop, bad cop.
July 23rd, 2022, Cleveland, Ohio. Indecent exposure. Open and what did I put? Brazen exposure of your buttocks. I have exhibits.
How do you square that morally?
Yeah. You just think
How do you sleep at night, huh?
Now hold on. Wait a second.
You like the Mr. Ass
Hold on.
taunt?
If what you're referring to was this in Cleveland?
This was in Cleveland.
Okay. Now, did I willingly pull my buttocks out, or was I pantsed?
Exhibit A. We'll put the picture in the video.
Where's the clip? Where's the video clip? Because if I recall, anytime my ass has come out during a match, it's because someone pulled my pants down. I have never, especially knowing that there's children in the crowd, I have never willingly pulled out my buttocks.
We go to the next one.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next one.
Listen, I will say there was one occasion where my opponent did pull my ass out. Okay, I will say this.
Okay.
Pulled my ass out, and the crowd, I kept, getting punched and falling down, and I just didn't have the time to pull my trunks up.
Oh, yeah.
And the crowd kept saying, "Pull your pants up." And then it got to a point where I was in control.
All right.
And I looked to the crowd, and I did, in fact, pull my trunks up, and they cheered.
That's impressive, actually.
But I didn't like that, so then I did willingly pull them back down.
I knew we'd get them.
Wow, dude. So you're pleading guilty.
I'm not pleading. I would say that's more of a no contest situation because initially my butt was pulled out by my opponent.
We're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to look at the book.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put a pin in that one.
Yeah, we'll remember that one for later.
What does it say about you guys though that you're looking up pictures of my butt hanging out?
I wasn't looking them up. I already have them.
It seems like a studying, like you had a late night.
I had them saved on my phone.
I mean, for God's sakes, I came!
We played another coming thing.
Oh, I heard it.
Oh, okay.
I heard it.
All right. Well, why don't you explain this one? Multiple counts of aiding and abetting being the getaway driver for 440. Self-proclaimed wheelman.
For 4-4.
What crime did I commit by driving a vehicle? I have a license.
By helping them.
It's called aiding and abetting.
Aiding and abetting.
What did I help them with other than like
Get away from the scene of the crimes where they would attack. You were some scoundrels.
I don't know what's happening when I'm just driving my friends around. Sometimes I'm like, hey, take me to a restaurant, and I'm like, all right, sure, I'll take you, and I take them, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm hearing this these scuttlebutt and tall tales that I assaulted someone with a weapon and stole a belt, and so like I don't know anything about that. I'm just driving the car. Okay.
I knew it, dude. I knew once we got him in the hot seat that he was going to make everything make sense.
If you call an Uber driver and then you have him stop at the bank and you rob it, does the Uber driver get in trouble?
That'd be a good episode.
That's a good
Law and
question.
Order.
Let's ask ChatGPT.
Well, while you're doing that,
Wait,
got
no,
another
because then
one
what
for
if like it seems like I'm looking this up because I'm going to do this and then I get arrested? You know,
Do it.
Okay. What am I like? What am I looking up again? If
Uber.
an Uber driver is a getaway driver for a crime. Is the
That was really good, though. I
Uber
thought I'd have you there.
driver?
I got a couple more up my sleeve, but
Okay.
we'll see.
All
We'll
right.
see, because so far, nice job.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was going to ask you if you wanted a lawyer present.
I don't
Is
need
David
one.
Lawless busy tonight?
He's busy,
Okay.
but I've also studied a lot of Hulk Hogan, so
So you're lying?
I didn't say that, brother.
Guys, I have breaking news.
Yeah.
If an Uber driver is used as a getaway driver for a crime,
Yeah.
whether they are liable depends entirely on their knowledge and intent.
That's what he said.
They can be charged as an accomplice or an accessory to the crime. Even if they didn't commit the main crime, driving the criminals away knowingly makes them legally responsible.
Yeah, but he didn't know.
If someone goes in the bank and says stay right here and then gets back in the car when you're the Uber driver and they have a big sack of something, you're just supposed to assume they just robbed the bank
Yeah, they could have just made a withdrawal.
with a huge sack of
People love big bags.
money.
A sperm bank?
Could be a sperm bank.
Oh, that's just
It'd be more like a bucket.
a bucket. Yeah, big.
You're not gonna
a
put it.
vat.
You're not gonna put a bunch of sperm in a bag.
Why are you looking at me? All right,
You're on trial next,
I think
don't
we can
worry.
move on. I think we can move
All
on.
right, next one. December 18th, 2015, Cleveland, Ohio, inciting a riot. You spoiled the movie Star Wars The Force Awakens, and all those nerds got really mad.
Here's the thing: the movie was out, so did I really spoil it? It's not like I had like an advanced screener. If you didn't see it day one, whose fault is that? What was it? Day two of the movie's release?
You got a good point.
Yeah, probably
Is
would have been.
like Screen Crush?
Actually, I think it was.
Are they criminals?
Because I did look.
'Cause
To see
sometimes,
the
like,
release date, I suppose.
They'll be like, "Hey, that new character that debuted in this new Marvel movie," and they show a picture of it the day after the movie comes out.
Whose side are you on?
Well, the side of justice.
Sidebar.
I will say though.
Listen, I know we wanted to get Greg in jail. Okay.
What?
Hold on.
I'm trying to break the cycle
You
here.
gotta respect the sidebar.
Okay, my mom did a lot of jail time. Rest in peace, Mom.
It's cracking, Mom. Anyways,
Josh Alexander did tell me in the basement that night, hey, did you go to the ring and tell everybody what happens in Star Wars? And I said, yeah. And he said, I think I hit you for real. I was like, okay.
Well, so that seems like enough punishment alone.
That's
right there.
true.
All right, well, look.
Yeah,
he's already been convicted.
I have a lot of respect
Double
for Josh
jeopardy.
Alexander, so.
All right, I got two left.
Okay.
And I think, I saved these for last.
Mm-hmm.
September 28th, 2019, North Tonawanda, New York. Aggravated murder for the murder of RJ City.
Oh.
When you blocked him on Twitter.
Hey.
Hey,
We murdered each other at the same time. He threatened to murder me. So I was defending myself. It was self-defense. But then, to be fair,
yeah.
when you really think about what happened, the beauty of us both killing ourselves,
All right. Romeo and Juliet.
and then Sarah McLachlan playing,
Yes.
and then coming out for the next match as ghosts and accidentally winning and losing, but winning the match and the tag team championships. That was one of the most beautiful moments in my career, but also in the history of wrestling, in my personal, humble opinion.
I did just watch again today, and when you guys throw off the sheets,
Yeah.
and that part is fun.
I hope you skip the actual match before we win, because that. So what happened in the actual match was,
Yeah.
I remember me and RJ being on the apron and being like, God, this match is going so long and unnecessary, because it was one of those things where it's like, these guys, I love some of them in the match, but these guys aren't wrestling enough to where it's like this is like their WrestleMania. And especially like some of these guys, like too, they were still very young. They still wrestle in Buffalo. And so like, it was like, got to do our stuff. But like, it wasn't about their stuff. It was about the story of the match.
Right.
And I remember me and RJ were just standing there like, oh boy, it was like falling apart. And luckily, like, because of the finish and because of the emotional investment that we had built for multiple months, when we accidentally won the belts,
It was great.
we got a standing ovation. It was very nice. I'm very, very proud of that.
Well, like you alluded to, that announcement of here's your winners and losers and new tag team champions. It's out I think I saw it on Reddit. Somebody put it up where it's the death match and then the tag team match right after is one video. It's like maybe a half hour altogether for the whole thing. Go watch it. It's worth it. All right, we can't. That's too perfect for you to be in trouble with. But last one, we got him here. You know the one.
Oh yeah, this is the one.
2014. World Wide Web is the location. Multiple counts of cyber stalking by the way of bitch strips. Multiple occurrences of harassment to Veda Scott.
Let's see you talk your way out of this one, man.
Veda and I had something very special. Boy, I have not talked about this publicly in a long time. We just started out as associates. She was my lawyer. She helped me get the 4 count. The only way to beat me was by pinning me for a count of 4, which is fair. I have a disability. Got to even the odds. And, for the betterment of our relationship, I brought in a little stable called the Iron Curtain. She wasn't too crazy about that. Sounded like she was a little bit jealous. My idea with the bit strips were, because she was not talking to me, hey, let's talk about old memories between the two of us, but in a new way. Not with text messages, not with a phone call. Cartoons. Bit strips. What if I send her these bit strips to help remind her, you know what? Me and Greg Iron, singular, not plural. We need to be together, not singular, forever. And to be fair, if you go back and watch the footage, did I SA her in a match? I wouldn't say that I... What I am going to say, without elaborating on that, there was a couple incidents where she forced herself on me and planted her lips upon these bad boys right here. Okay? Now, if someone disliked bit strips that much, would they do that? Would that be considered stalking? She wore a wedding dress for our cage match. Would that be stalking? That's kind of weird that she would wear attire for a holy ceremony in a steel cage.
So your defense is, look what she was wearing. She deserved it.
I didn't know. Did I deserve what I got in that match? Which was like, I was on the top rope, and I remember some might say that I was like trying to maybe suplex her, but I remember trying to help her down. Like, no, you might fall. And then she grabbed me by the face and was like, mwah, and then pushed me.
What did she do?
Mwah.
Oh, okay.
Like, it was a weird way to kiss someone, but that's what happened. Here's a fun fact that you guys may not know. The original ending to that was Charles Ramsey, famous Cleveland hero who saved those 3 girls that were locked in Ariel Castro's home for 10 years. The original plan, which is crazy to think about, his only ask at the time was he only wanted to be able to sign his books at the gimmick table. So he wanted $0.
Really?
But the finish of the match was going to be Charles Ramsey busting into, I'm not making this up, he busts into the cage, gives me a stone cold stunner, and pulls Veda out of the cage for her to win the match. And probably good that we didn't do that, honestly. I don't know if that would have went over too well, even in 2014.
Wow.
But that was the plan.
It's
but
definitely an interesting idea.
But then all of a
like
sudden, like, you know, the week of the show or something, he wanted like a couple $1,000s or something. So that didn't happen. But that literally, I was just thinking about that a couple days ago. I'm like, that's insane that was a thing that
It almost happened.
happened. I would have had to have taken a Stone Cold Stunner from the guys who said, I ate ribs with that dude. You know, like what the?
Wow.
So yeah, I think, you know.
I feel like he, Chewbacca defensed us on that one. Because I don't even remember what we said he did wrong.
Yeah, I'm actually on his side now.
If I may be so bold.
I think we need to get Veda Scott in the courthouse.
Well, she's actually married now, so I don't know if she wants anything to do with me. I don't know.
Veda Scott, comment below and let us know if you want to come on the court, maybe face to face with Greg one more time, just for old times.
Face to face.
Sure hope she watches this one.
Well, I guess it seems that Gregory Iron has been acquitted of all charges.
As official judge, because I wore the wig, innocent on all counts. I mean, come on. Wow. Thought we had you.
Remember, if the glove does not fit, you must acquit, and there ain't no glove going on this hand.
All right. Creamers, it's time for the John Cena quote of the week.
First of all, I would like to describe the picture on the opposing page. It is a karate man bowing. And then the quote says, "Be brave enough to embrace humility. The reward will be confidence." Not sure what that has to do with a karate bow, but that's...
All right, it's time for our match count of 2025, the year of our lives. Sammy Daddy, do you have your match count ready?
No.
I'll go first.
But I can.
Let's see.
No, I'm racing now. 356.
356.
Got you.
In the year of 2025, the year of our lives. My match count for 2025, the year of our lives, is 434.
Oh, bitch. I was winning 1 week. There was 1 week I actually watched more wrestling.
And then it was Best of the Super Juniors, and there's like a show every day with 10 matches on it.
What does the winner get? Like most pathetic award? I mean, most likely not to have intercourse with a woman.
We're gonna edit that out. We'll edit that out in post.
Oh boy, you're both married and I'm single and lonely, so I make jokes to hide the pain and suffering from within.
Anyways, Sammy Daddy, what's your match of the week?
My match of the week, I really liked Pentagon and Dragon Lee and Chad Gable. It's not my match of the week, but I like that one. But I picked...
Dang, Greg hates it.
No, he's going.
He says he hates Lucha Libre.
He's going through it.
I'm fine.
Maybe he's El Grande Americano.
El Grande American.
I'm going to say Anarchy in the Arena.
Good choice.
I liked it. I thought it was fun.
It was fun as hell.
It's kind of chaotic. It's supposed to be.
But that's the fun of it,
the thing with the music. I felt like it was... I don't know.
It was the perfect choice for a song because you know wrestling fans know that song. It was either going to be... It could have either been that or Creed.
I figured that's the way they were going to go. When he started doing the thing, but whatever. But yeah,
I feel
so it
like
was just fun.
Creed would have been way too expensive.
You think so? Well, they're back touring and everything, too.
I heard
True.
they made more money on this tour than they've ever made
I believe that.
at their peak. Which
I
is
believe
crazy.
that.
So,
Oh, shit.
no.
My match count of 2025, I mean, of this week, I mean,
Yep.
my fucking match of the week, I should say, is Will Ospreay versus Hangman Adam Page. Our favorite Hangman.
I had a feeling that's what you would pick.
I was going to pick the Anarchy in the Arena match, but then you did, so.
Really?
Yeah.
I figued you were going to pick the other one. That's why I picked Anarchy in the
It was going to
Arena.
be one of them, but They were just fun as hell. Greg, what was your favorite match that you watched in the last 7 days? We know it wasn't from Barely Legal 97.
Definitely was not from Barely.
Oh, that's what I was going to say. I forgot already.
Oh boy. I really enjoyed. What would I say is the best match on Saturday?
Interesting way to talk.
What's wrong with my voice?
I didn't say anything that was wrong with your voice. I just thought the whole thing was a little, weird.
I really enjoyed. I don't know whose voice I'm channeling.
Rude and unprofessional. Rude
like in my
and
brain,
unprofessional.
I know the voice.
Do it again.
I really enjoyed.
I think
This is definitely something, but I don't.
Yeah, I know.
what
Right,
it
it's
is.
on the
I
tip
don't
of
know
my
what it is, but,
penis.
I do know that I enjoyed the tag match on Saturday night's main event, Sammy and CM Punk versus Braun Breaker and Seth Rollins. I think it was a nice way to introduce the return of Bronson Reed. And I like that, Sammy and Punk had the matching green and red gear, and it was very enjoyable. Too many commercials on Saturday night's main event, for sure. But that's what you get with broadcast TV. I don't know what to tell you. But, but it was very enjoyable.
I can't argue the too many ads thing, but I kind of go in expecting it. I feel like for that show.
It's just weird because I don't remember that many ads on, SmackDown.
No,
when it was
not
on
at all.
broadcast TV, so it's weird.
No, it is. I don't know if they're just milking it a little bit more because they know it's got a bigger feel than your weekly shows. I don't know.
Yeah.
It was way too much, but when there was wrestling, I liked it.
Yeah, it's always a good show. I feel like they got to cut out one match though. They can't be doing these 5 matches on the Saturday night's main event. Like maybe 4 matches in like a segment or something, like a small segment.
I think that'd be good.
Yeah. Because if you're doing 5 matches on a 3-hour PLE, how are you doing 5 matches on a 2-hour?
On a 2, right.
It's just weird.
True. We'll have to email them and let them know.
Yeah. I'll text Hunter.
Oh, man. And as always, Creamers, we'd like to remind you that if you're in the Cleveland area, Cleveland is the city that we live in, purchase your tickets to Old Wrestling's Murder Mystery, which is sponsored by WrestleCream.
Someone was murdered there?
Well, not yet.
Not yet. But we have to figure out.
But they will be murdered, for God's sakes.
Wait a minute. Are you going to put them on trial like you did to me?
Depends who does
we'll have
it.
to see.
It depends if we like them or not.
Well, I have a friend there.
It's not Buster Buckaroo because you are Buster Buckaroo.
What'd you say?
Is he Buster Buckaroo?
No.
I've met Buster Buckaroo before. No, it's not.
We do not look the same.
I think you guys are the same man. No?
Oh, Buster wears a glove.
He wears a glove. He's got a Zorro mask on.
Mm-hmm.
He has the Spanish flu.
You can have those things.
No, clearly.
Don't. He's from a different time period.
Yeah.
Well, that is the saving grace for you. Yeah, I guess. Okay, I'm sorry about that, guys. Creamers, please forgive me for what I said. Comment below. Let us know if you think Buster Buckaroo and Gregory Iron are the same guy, because I sure did.
We would have talked about it.
It happens more than you think, yeah.
It does? Well, that makes me feel a little better.
Call me Gregory Irons at the start of the
Well,
show.
yeah,
He's
he
doing
doesn't
it.
either.
I'm going to edit out.
He's worse than us.
I'm going to edit out the S.
Well, I don't know about that, but yeah, close. But the show's June 13th. Beachland Ballroom, Cleveland, Ohio. We'll be there.
Buster Buckaroo.
Maybe Buster Buckaroo.
Well, he would have been there,
I
but
don't
he
know.
mysteriously has an injury too.
Does he?
Well, he's not on the card.
That's odd. That's odd how that worked out.
It is
It is
fucking odd.
strange.
What's wrong with him?
I don't know. I don't follow his career.
I got to give him a call. I don't know if he
I
has
know
a
you
phone.
know.
Would you be willing to do a face-to-face conversation with him out here on WrestleCream?
Why would I have to do that? Why?
Well, I mean,
I don't like to publicize like my close friendships like that.
All right, it's official. Gregory Iron has agreed to go face-to-face with
I
Buster Buckaroo
didn't
on
do
WrestleCream.
no, you said you did. I think I heard you say.
Joe,
Man, CTE is really messing me up.
WrestleCream bullshit
Yeah,
is
we'll
wrestling
take
and
care of
also
you.
cream involved.
June 13th, Beachland Ballroom. Everybody's going to be there.
Except for Buster Buckaroo and Gregory Iron, who have never been seen in the same place. Sammy Daddy,
Yeah, I don't know.
the Creamers want to know, do you have a room for cream for tonight's episode?
I do. I have it saved,
Hell yeah, man.
but I can't get to it. There it is. I didn't know this, but you know Rick Derringer, musician, he died.
Yeah, I was listening
I
to
just
Busted
saw
Open,
that
or
today.
not Busted Open, Wrestling Observer today, and they were
So
talking about it.
I forgot. He does a couple songs I like.
Yeah?
Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo.
Yeah.
He was on Frankenstein.
They did the Hulk Hogan theme song.
I was getting there.
Oh.
Hey, you know what? The rumor's always been that he actually didn't sing that song. Because if you ever heard
A Hulk Hogan one?
yes, if you
Real
ever
American?
so supposedly, I can't remember where I read it, but there's a big article that you can look up where the guy who was in studio that sung it didn't get credit for it. Rick Derringer took the credit for it because if you play one live performance of Rick Derringer doing it and tell me if it sounds anything like the actual theme.
I've never listened to a live version of it.
Me neither.
Look up the live versions. I promise you, Rick Derringer is not actually singing what's on that track.
Well, maybe we can pull it up right now.
This is a
You
conspiracy.
think it
theory.
was a studio artist or whatever? That's the theory.
I think it was someone that was in studio that day that there was been a claim made about that and it makes sense because anytime I heard a live version before I heard that theory, I was like, it's so weird that the live version sounds so weird and shitty.
I've never heard this, but I got to hear it. But
Yeah.
We're going to put it on the headphones. But
this-
he's not going to be able to hear it, though.
Is this live? You got a live
Yeah, I got
version?
the live version.
It's bad.
I've never heard it before. Well, because I saw the name and I'm like, that's him, right? That's Real American. And then I looked it up and I forgot the other songs he did that I knew. I didn't know because that's why I took the picture.
Yeah.
Because he worked with Steely Dan. You like Steely Dan?
Nah, not really.
No. Okay.
No.
Cyndi Lauper. I know you like Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah, she's the one that's in the background of Real American, but she doesn't get credit for that.
she doesn't?
Yeah, so
So that adds up to people not getting credit.
she's the woman in the background, but I don't know if the name's ever been revealed of the guy who actually sung it.
Because then talks about the Pile Driver album.
Yeah.
Because he was doing that. But then he did Eat It and Fat with Weird Al.
That's crazy.
I didn't know that either.
No, wow.
That's when I saw that lineup. I was like, wow. But this whole live, that he's not the real performer.
He's not the Real American singing that song.
All right, let's check it out.
But who is?
I am a real American.
It sounds
Fight
horrible.
for the rights of every man. I am a real American. Fight for what's right. Fight for your life.
Yeah.
Knockoff.
Yeah, like a 90s cover.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't sound like whoever's on that original track from 85. It's not Rick Derringer.
This part does sound like him to me.
No, I feel like he's never heard the song before and he's doing karaoke. That's what it sounds like. It's like he's heard the song once and
Yeah.
kind of dug it, but he doesn't, because it's not even like the cadence, everything.
Yeah. Wow, man.
That's a cream spirit.
Let's look to the chorus at least. Wow, this doesn't sound right, man.
I hate it.
I don't think he actually did the song on the track.
Wow.
He's not fighting for what's right. He's a goddamn liar. And you know what? We're glad he's dead.
Well, it makes sense that he would be associated with Hulk Hogan, you know?
I know.
True. Dang. Yeah, man.
We should see what Hulk has to say about this. You have his number, right?
No,
Oh.
I don't.
Ask Austin to give it to you.
I thought you did.
Creamers, if in case you don't know, Gregory Iron and Stone Cold Steve Austin are best friends.
Right.
We're longtime, good, close personal friends.
Right.
Going on 70. That's wild. 7 years knowing each other.
It's your anniversary.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah, that next month it'll be 7 years since
Aw.
I did Stone Cold's podcast for the
You
first
should
time.
tell him, get you back on there.
He doesn't do it anymore.
You should start it.
Tell him to fucking join your show, man. Replace Aaron.
Maybe I will.
What?
It's applause.
Close your eyes. Watch him.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
If you put the S in front of Hitman, I can't. Now I'm fucking up.
How did you guys get your Bluetooth connected to this? Were you just playing?
No,
Stone
that
Cold Steve
wasn't the
Austin?
clip. That was Greg.
Greg Iron?
Gregory Iron. One and the same. That was not Stone Cold. You thought it was, though, because your eyes were closed.
Damn, dude. I did not know. Anyways, Greg, do you have a room for cream?
All my rooms are taken up at this time, but it depends on how much you're offering for rent, I guess. Or wait, is this like a one night thing with the creaming? Like what does the creaming consist of? Like what?
That's up to you.
Where's the cream going?
Dealer's choice.
Where do you want the cream?
Yeah, where do you want us to put the cream, big guy? Just kidding. We both know the answer to that.
Do we?
In your butthole. Your butthole.
Yeah, well, it wouldn't be the first time that a man pulled my pants down and exposed my buttocks without permission. So.
And then.
I mean, for God's sakes, I came!
All right. Now we're caught up.
Anyways, my room for creamers is let's see. I forgot what it is.
One.
I did, but I forgot it.
When I saw the Rick Danger, I went, "Oh, this is my room for cream today." I was excited.
Yeah,
we procrastinate.
My room for cream is that I heart Greg, and he hearts me.
Can you confirm?
He said that, not me.
Okay.
Greg, you don't have a room for cream? Remember earlier when I texted you about this? You said, yeah. You said, sure, why not?
My room for cream. Does it have to be something that happened this week?
No, it can be anything ever.
Yeah, anything
Inside
at all that you want to talk
outside
about.
of wrestling.
It could be about your crackhead mom.
Well, I don't know. My room for cream is, anybody that is going through any mental issue should really go to therapy. Because therapy's been really helping me while I'm injured. And I'm in the process of also writing a book while injured. And I got to tell you guys, putting myself in the mind of a child who dealt with incredible physical and emotional trauma, like actually putting myself in that mindset. I'm sorry that I made this completely serious, but I'm like crying about things for the first time that I felt like I just have openly talked about, things that I've joked about, but also openly talked about in interviews and stuff in a serious manner. But I feel like actually like going back to that place and reliving it and talking with someone, an unbiased third party, I feel like I'm actually healing for the first time as a 38-year-old man. And I think that's a pretty powerful thing. So if you're still one of those guys in 25 who thinks, you're too macho, or too manly to talk to a therapist, you're pretty fucking dumb. Go to a therapist, and it'll make your life better. I promise. So.
Probably should plug his stuff too, huh?
Oh yeah, but we were talking about plugging him a minute ago.
Well, he's got to do the.
Okay, yeah, Greg, why don't you tell the creamers at home what you got going on?
Iron on Wrestling, available every Wednesday on iTunes, Spotify, wherever you download podcasts. But if you want to get it a day-ish early, you can get over on patreon.com/Iron Wrestling for a buttload of bonus content. Starting at just $3, $5 for video, $9 to get involved with live chats that we do once a month. A lot of good stuff on the Patreon. Sam's there. Sean's not. All right.
I was.
I enjoy
Fat
it.
Joe.
You remember you said, you're working on the show now. You have to have a Patreon. We'll give you a free one. And then that never happened.
You can find me at Gregory Iron on X. I never really go on there, but I'm there. Instagram, Gregory_Iron, Facebook.com/TheHandicappedHero. If you want to support me while I'm injured, which will probably be, I won't even be able to do work during the week until like September. So there's a GoFundMe available on my social media links. Or just search Gregory Iron GoFundMe. If the old one comes up with my injured dong, it's not that one. Girls, my dong.
I forgot about that.
Is going strong. Okay, so just so you know, and there's nothing wrong with that dong. And ProWrestlingTees.com/Gregory Iron. A good place to grab some merch too. That's it.
And again, creamers, the link to the GoFundMe that he was just talking about, not the dong one, but the hand one, is in the description.
Peck, which goes into my arm and hand.
It's his peck.
I'm like a T-Rex right now.
It's not his pecker this time. It's his peck.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. Not my Randy Johnson.
Hello.
All right, creamers. We love you.
And we wish you
the best. We should have talked about how you're going to auction off your trunks.
I have some questions. Is it okay to smoke tobacco in here?
We are in Arizona, maybe.
Is it okay to smoke cannabis in here?
In Arizona, maybe.
So just harder drugs?
Well, yeah, nothing beyond that. That's as hard as we're going to go in Arizona.
Name a drug. What can we do? Something if I want to get really messed up. Meth. All right, good to know.
But you may be in the right place.
Luther, get me the meth. Luther, they said it was okay. Get me the meth.